It is my honor to introduce Paul Kahnert of the Ontario Electricity Coalition. Paul Kahnert.
Well, thank you very much. You like my t-shirt? It's from BC. They got Tories on speed out there. You know, I was in the legislature the last couple of weeks talking to Mr. Gilchrist and Stockwell, and I asked them a question on your behalf. I said, what are you going to do with Adam Beck's statue? You going to take it down and bury it in a garbage dump somewhere? They refused to answer that question as well. They don't answer any of our questions. Well, I don't have too much to say about privatizing electricity and why it's bad for the people. It hasn't worked anywhere in the world, and more importantly, no one wants it here. Yesterday's poll is proof positive that the Conservatives have no mandate to proceed. This poll was done after the government spin doctor said they'd only sell 49%. It was done after the feel-good budget and clearly shows that the people weren't fooled. Am I going to get rained on? 72.4% opposed the sale of Hydro One. That's up from the NDP poll in January by 7.4%. That's after all of the stuff the government, all the stuff. A trend in the exact opposite way where the government is going. 76.2% say if Hydro One is sold, prices will go up as owners increase profits. 71.2% think breaking up and selling hydro is a bad idea. No kidding. An overwhelming 77.4% of the people are worried that the sale of Hydro One would mean our transmission system would end up in foreign hands. 65.2% believe that selling 49% of hydro is a bad compromise, and it only makes sense to keep it under 100% public control. Almost 70% see the government's plan to sell Hydro One, 49%, as just the first step. And 69.8% of the people remain unconvinced that private owners would increase efficiencies and pass them on to consumers. That is a resounding rejection. Wait till later. That is a resounding rejection of the whole privatization ideology of Hydro One and the whole Tory electricity scheme. They must withdraw Bill 58 and cancel all their electricity privatization plans. You know, when we formed the Ontario Electricity Coalition more than a year ago, there was no public opposition to electricity privatization. That was our main goal. Now, more than a year later, together with our allies, the NDP, and all our coalition allies, CEP, Steel, the Council of Canadians, far too many people to mention, we've created huge opposition to the privatization of electricity. We also found that although we were a single-issue, non-partisan coalition, it wasn't too hard to make the link to all other public services, and that the privatization of hydro was an excellent opportunity to educate the public on the value of all our public services. We kept on asking the questions. How is it a credible position for the Conservatives and the Liberals to be promoting multiple billion-dollar profits for corporations that are mostly American and British? Why not keep those profits here in Ontario to pay for things like healthcare and education? No answer to that question. How is adding in profits to generators, profits to distributors, profits to retailers, commissions to commodities brokers, and dividends to investors going to give us cheaper hydro rates and more reliable power? What are the NAFTA implications? Why are the Tories so anxious to implement the Bush Continental Energy Plan? These questions are common to all our public services, and the government has refused to answer any of these questions. We've asked them many, many times face to face. All of us We gave this place a really good shake. We stopped the sale of Hydro One, and we really upset the investors on Bay Street. But the most important thing that we showed is that it is possible to win. It is possible to beat back these monsters who have treated people and democracy so badly for most of the past decade. It is possible to win. And it is possible to throw these monsters out in the next provincial election. We're here to celebrate public power, but our victory is not yet complete. We created a huge crack in the common sense revolution, not just in electricity, but in all our policies concerning public services and tax cuts. Are we content to celebrate, throwing the government off track while quietly accepting that they will win in the end? We say no. When has there ever been a bigger opportunity to win a huge victory over the Tories? The forces of greed are regrouping, and we must be ready. So where do we go from here? It's time to go on the offensive. We created opposition to electricity privatization by going out to more than 50 public meetings around the province and patiently explaining the issues. Phase 2 of the OEC's plan, to quote John Wilson, must be like the fishes and the loaves. We will train people so that we can go out to 500 communities around the province and build opposition that is 10 times greater. I'm getting there. We will also continue our plan to get municipalities, school boards, and hospital boards to pass resolutions against privatization, and we will continue to lobby business, big and small. Phase 2 is being planned right now and will go until the next provincial election, and we will make electricity the main issue in that election. Will the opponents of the Ontario government, Labour in particular, seize the biggest opportunity in a decade to turn the political tide in this province? The harm that the Tory and Liberal electricity plan would cause the people is very well documented. Let's use the facts around electricity privatization to harm the Tories and the Liberals. I want to finish up by saying that the Tories know that there is a crisis over their policies. We should know it too, and act on it. Public power, public services, and democracy are right in front of us. All we have to do is to have the will to go and get it. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank the organizers of today's event and thank all of you. Our efforts are worthwhile, our cause is just, and we can win. And I would like you to join me with the slogan of the early movement for public power in Ontario, a slogan which was chanted in this very spot in 1906. It may sound a little stilted to your ears, but this is what we said right here in 1906. We said, power at cost for the people. Power at cost for the people. Power at cost for the people. Thank you very much. I have been informed that the Agitate the G8 demonstration will be here within 5 minutes. Those of you who can stay to welcome them are invited to do so. And someone, of course, will have to tell me what agitate the G8 means. Thank you very much.